Hi, welcome back to the Sing Confidently Live Creatively podcast. Happy Thanksgiving if you're listening to this on Thursday. What is it, November 28th? That's Thanksgiving in the U or no, Thursday, November 27th. Thanksgiving in the US. Oh my gosh, you're a real one if you're listening to this on Thanksgiving. I'm recording this ahead of time for those of you who still want an episode, even though it's Thanksgiving. This will be a cozy, comfy chat, hopefully encouraging, inspiring, empowering, because I really want to talk to that thing that holds us back so much of the time when it comes to becoming confident performers and singers, and that is fear. That is the fear that keeps us back, that holds us down, that keeps us from doing the thing that we really, really want to do as singers and performers. So that way we get to this time of the year. It's November, it's almost the end of the year. And we're like, oh my goodness, I haven't done that thing that I really wanted to do, you know? And so today I want to talk to you about that. I want to encourage you in that real quick. It'll just be a quick one today because I know it's Thanksgiving and you want to get to the festivities. Or maybe you're listening to this while you're cooking, while you're baking your pumpkin pie. I love pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh, I'm getting excited because I'm doing this a week before. But yeah, if that's you, hi. I'm so proud of you for cooking and baking on Thanksgiving, and I'm so grateful that you would choose this episode to accompany you. But if not, if you're just, relaxing, you're taking the day off, or maybe life goes on because you are not celebrating Thanksgiving, that's amazing too. Regardless, I just want to say I'm grateful to you so much. I'm so grateful that you're listening, that you are here. I'm so thankful that you listen to this show, that you're a part of this community. I know that you're listening to me, but I want to also listen to you. I want to talk to you and I want to be able to hear from you guys. And so whenever you follow me on Instagram, at Creatively by Estelle, by the way, or you come to our Facebook groups or Instagram group, it really, those are free, by the way. It really encourages me too, inspires me that like I should keep going with this show and that you're listening and that you're there. So I just want to say thank you so, so much for connecting with me, those of you who have been able to, and just for listening to this show. It means so much. And there's been a lot going on in my life this year, especially this last quarter or the last two quarters that have been really, really hard. But, knowing that I have this show and that I have you guys and that you guys are listening, that you're here for this, it encourages and inspires me to keep going and to keep hopefully encouraging and inspiring you. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I also wanted to let you know that I have a Black Friday sale that's going to be happening November 29th through the 30th. The Black Friday sale is on voice lessons and it is a 50% off sale. 50% off of a voice lesson with the code BLACK, just BLACK, B-L-A-K. Oh, sorry. B-L-A-C-K. I can spell, I promise. BLACK. All you have to do is when you go to book a lesson at creativelybystelle.com/studio, book your lesson and put in the code BLACK, BLACK at checkout, and you'll get 50% off of the lesson. That is $40 for a lesson with me. And that is not bad at all, at least for the price that it is right now? That is an amazing deal. So make sure that you take advantage of that. Again, it's only from Friday, November 29th through Saturday, November 30th. So make sure you take advantage of that Black Friday sale while it lasts. Again, that is creativelybystelle.com/studio. Okay. So speaking of lessons and having the courage to really put yourself out there in front of someone, in a lesson, right? That is the kind of courage that we all need. That is the kind of courage that we are all working towards, right? And as we're sitting in this moment of gratitude and sitting in this time of Thanksgiving, I really want to share with you that I understand the fear. Okay. If you've heard me share my story before, maybe you're new, maybe you haven't, but I grew up thinking that medical school and the medical field was where I had to be in order to feel successful in life. And I went that route. I really tried, but I just knew that it was not where I was supposed to be. And I had to take a courageous, scary step to leave. I went for medical school to then applying to music schools. Didn't get in the first time around, got in the second time around to Columbia University, an Ivy League for music and music education. And it was such a mindset game the entire time that I was transitioning from medical school to then deciding to, start pursuing a career as a performing artist in my early 20s. I was taking voice lessons. I started taking dance classes again. I started auditioning for shows and plays. And I had this deep fear, and at the same time, I was researching schools to apply to, to do a master's in music or something in that space. And all the time, there was this just deep seated fear that I had to fight again and again in order to make this mindset shift around this career that I was pursuing that was so completely different from the stable, often highly regarded field of medicine, right? I had this fear of telling people that I was pursuing a creative career. Like I literally would struggle to get the words out to be like, "Oh, I'm applying to, masters in music, I'm applying for masters in voice pedagogy and music. I want to teach voice, I want to teach music, I want to be a performer." Like it was a struggle to say this to people at times, and I had to just like push through. A lot of the times I was faking it, like I was just like faking confidence, but inside I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm shaking." You know what I mean? Fear of just like not being good enough to even go to auditions sometimes, or like fear that I was, my voice was not good enough. Like, what if I wasn't even good enough to be a performer and I'm over here trying to teach voice lessons? What if I don't even have that good enough of a voice to even be on stages, right? To even teach voice, right? All of these things, fear, 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 doubt, 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 discouragement, 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 shame, 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 all the things. You know what I mean because you're here, you're listening, you've experienced this, right? You've experienced that fear of like, what if I'm not even good enough to do this? What if I go to that voice lesson and she literally thinks I'm a horrible singer? I would not think that, by the way. But that's what we think, right? That's what we fear. What if I go to that audition and they literally like cut me in the middle of it? Which I guess in theory they could do. What if I what if I go to, this dance class and I'm the worst one in the class, right? These are the fears that come through our minds. What if I say that I'm pursuing a career as an actor and a singer and everyone thinks I'm crazy, right? These are the fears that we have. What if I sing and my voice cracks? What if I can't hit that note? What if all of my hard work is for nothing, right? Fear, fear, fear. So how do we move through it? First of all, we gotta surrender. We gotta admit that we're having that fear and we have to surrender it. For me, it looked like surrendering it to God, praying, journaling, reflecting at like on like where is this feeling coming from? What am I feeling right now? Where is it coming from? What do I want to feel? What do I want my mindset to be? These are things that I journal through. I still journal through these some of these fears, but especially when I was changing my career and pursuing this whole music performing, voice teaching career that I'm now doing. And I'm still pursuing it, but man, the surrender piece is so important. I took lots of walks. For some reason, just like being outside, moving my body, that really worked for me. And you know what else worked? Gratitude. Instead of feeling like staying in the fear of like, what if I'm not a good enough singer? What if I can't sing? Like, what if I can't ever reach high notes? What if I can never belt? Oh my, I don't know how to mix between my chest voice and my head voice. But the gratitude to be like, no, I can notice the beautiful things that are in my voice. Can I notice the good things about who I am as an artist? Can I notice that I have just like a spark when it comes to performing on stage? Can I appreciate those good things? Can I have some gratitude for the things that are working, that I am good at, right? So these are like all under the first thing that I want to share with you to just surrender. Surrender to God. Surrender to the fact that, you know what? God has put a gift in you, a gift for being a performer, for being a singer, an artist that you are not taking for granted. That is a big deal. A lot of people in this world have gifts that they are sitting on, but you are listening to this podcast because you're not sitting on your gift. That is something to be grateful for, right? So surrender those fears to God, meditate, pray, journal. And whether you're a person of faith or not, like these are tools that are really, really helpful for our mental and emotional well-being. And for me, as someone who is a believer who loves the Lord, this was crucial, that surrender piece. The second thing to help me move through the fear so that I could really build a confidence in myself as a singer and as a performer is that I just started to create a little plan. Like I just went, what is my next best step? Every day or every week, I would create a plan for what I was going to do that week or that day to help me grow. Maybe it was taking a voice lesson. Maybe it's just choosing a song for an audition, not even working on it, just deciding on what the song was going to be, right? Looking up an audition near you, right? That could be your next best step. Look up a place to go to an open mic night. That could be your next best step. Whatever it is, you gotta write it down, create a little plan of your next best step to help you move forward. And the third thing you gotta do is you gotta start taking small steps of courageous action. So now that you have signed up for the audition, you looked up the audition, right? And you're creating your plan. Okay, your plan is that you're going to go to the audition. All right. Now you got to take the courageous action to actually go to the audition and perform in the audition, right? You have to take the courageous action to actually go to the dance class. Take the courageous action to actually take a lesson, book a voice lesson, and go to the lesson and show up for it, right? You have to do the thing. Take small steps, but take them. Like, even if they're small, as long as you are taking them, that is what matters. This is what got me out of medical school to music school to teaching voice lessons to students in North Carolina and virtually around the world, to auditioning for musicals, to singing at open mic nights, to singing online, to talking to you on this podcast right now, right? It's these steps of surrendering, creating a small plan of my next best steps and then taking that courageous action. You can do this. This is how you grow as a singer and a performer in your confidence. You do not let fear stop you. Instead, you take small steps of courageous action after you've surrendered that fear. You're working through the fear and you continue to do the work. You continue to surrender it all the while. But you also make a plan and then you take that courageous action step, one step at a time. And I'm right here cheering you on as always. You know I am. You know I am. I'll be here again twice a week cheering you on this journey, okay? Don't forget to, if you know that I'm the coach for you and I'm the person for you to help you work through this, to help you work through that fear so that you can build that confidence as a singer, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate because the Black Friday sale is just for 2 days. So please make sure that you go to creativelybyestelle.com/studio, creativelybyestelle.com/studio. Use the code BLACK so that you can get 50% off of your voice lesson. And make sure that you show up for that lesson, right? You take that courageous action step. If that is what you need to do right now, if that is your next best step when you're listening to this on the 28th or the 29th, then make sure that you book your lesson. Again, creativelybyestelle.com/studio. And I cannot wait to see you in that lesson. And I'm going to cheer you on. I'm going to be like, yes, you took the courageous action. I'm so excited for you. Let's go, right? Let's go. Thank you so much again for being here and for listening. I love you guys so much. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you so, so much for listening to today's episode and to this show. I'm so in awe of you for being here and showing up for your creative gifts. That takes courage. Don't forget to join the performing arts community on Facebook for support and inspiration as you continue on your journey. If this episode helped or inspired you in any way, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and share it with someone. It means so, so much. Thank you again, and don't forget to keep singing, acting, dancing, performing, and living creatively. Talk to you next time.